harvest some of our roosters as well as a couple of old hens. This might not be for everyone, as we are going to show the process from start to finish as much as we can. When harvesting our chickens, we use a milk jug with the top and bottom cut off of it, and we hang our birds upside down so that they are calm and cool and collected, and then we just make a small slice in their throat and let them bleed out. This is the most humane way that we have found to work for us previously in years, because we haven't harvested any of our own birds since we've actually lived at Backwoods. So we had to do a whole bunch of roosters, and we like this method as they aren't stressed out at all. So here we're putting the first bird in. Chad's cousin Jimmy made this chicken plucker with some nipples that he bought off Amazon, and then it's just rigged up to a belt, and we are just taking all the feathers off. So in this clip, I am just starting to pluck the first bird that we had done. It's a bit trial and error with this new chicken plucker. And in the background, you can see Chad putting a couple more birds in to be processed. The first couple birds that we put through the new chicken plucker didn't come out as clean as we wanted to, but we got it rigged up later to work super well. Everything we do on our farm is a family affair, so you can see Oakley wanting to be involved the entire time. In the background, you can see Chad's cousin Jimmy putting a bird in and trying to rig up the chicken plucker to work as well as it possibly can. The bird that we're plucking here is the infamous Crazy Pete. So Oakley wanted to be involved the entire time because he attacked her and many of her friends multiple times. Also, we're making this video to show that you don't have to be a professional at everything you do. If you're homesteading or ranching or farming, you learn as you go. So this is us learning as we go. Doing this for the first time. This beautiful lady here is Sam. This is Jimmy's wife, and they raised chickens themselves in the last few years, meat birds, and she is a seasoned chicken plucker, so she came in for some moral support. So we were just looking at this bird, the feathers weren't coming off the way that we wanted to, so we ended up putting some feather off in the water to see if that would help us. With good company and good conversation, you can pretty much make any dirty and gross job a fun time. So here you can see this chicken didn't come out plucked exactly how we wanted her to, but wait till you see exactly how they get it rigged up. And Oakley is helping us the entire time.
That's me! Helping you guys!
Our kids are literally involved in every single thing we do, and we find that so important. It was the way that Chad and I were both raised, and that's why we are choosing to homeschool our kids, so that we can give them adventures like this every single day of their life, teaching them how to live off the land, how their food is raised, just being outside in nature, and then the bookwork as well. But we just find that experiences like this are so crucial in the upbringing of children, and kids just need more of that these days, regardless if they're homeschooled or not. Just getting out and being there, being with people of all ages, and being a contributing member of society. So here you can see us, we are just too cold in the wind working on these birds. We are moving this process inside. So here you can just see Sam checking how much meat is actually on this bird. And it turns out it's a pretty good one. This is a random tidbit, but I get often asked this on my Instagram. People wonder about the sex of the birds in the grocery store because everything's classified as chickens. And yes, a lot of the birds that are sold are roosters, so the male birds. Female birds are called hens, and a lot of the hens are saved for egg production. So the majority of the time when you're eating chicken, in quotations, it's actually a male bird. So here Chad just dropped off another one that didn't come out of the chicken plucker exactly how we wanted. Tons of feathers and still a lot of work for us to do. But the last few that went through were pretty much clean. We only had to take off a few wing feathers. Throughout this plucking process, every time you see Sam or I leave, it's because we have multiple little babies in the house chilling out. For those of you who don't know, we do a program called Booth, where people can come from all over the world and work on your farm for experience in exchange for room and board. This is Hope, and she is probably the coolest vegan that I've ever met. She just gets in, gets her hands dirty, and helps with everything that we are doing. She doesn't eat the meat, but she likes the way that we raise our animals and treat them humanely and respect them from start to finish. As a meat-eating family, that is something that we can respect full-heartedly. Here you can see Jimmy removing all of the internals out of the birds, and he is saving the gizzards for our combined grandma, who really enjoys them. None of us were super interested, and she thinks they're a bit of a delicacy. So why not save them in a bag for grandma? We realized later that we never really got a clip of the really clean birds coming out of here, but when they got it rigged up, it worked awesome. So if you guys are looking for a method, this works super cool. All the nipples were bought off of Amazon. Jimmy made the frame, had the barrel, and rigged up that system. all of the birds, and Chad is cleaning out the chicken plucker, and Jimmy is taking the internals out of the last few chickens. It's definitely a process that is best done with multiple people, so you can set it up in stages. We then put all of our chickens in big huge bags and dunk them into ice water in a Rubbermaid tote, and it vac sealed them, and then we knotted them up and put them in the freezer. We needed to cull a bunch of these roosters because the hens weren't laying as much. If there is an overpopulation of roosters in ratio to hens, they will not lay as much as they're stressed out. And it seemed to make a huge difference within a few days. As you can see, our egg production picked up already. This is us, this is Backwoods, and we're constantly learning.